Have you ever explained yourself carefully, clearly, and still felt misread? Like people hear your words, but not you. And afterward, you replay it, what you said, what they thought you meant. And a quiet tension forms in your chest, not because they disagreed, but because they didn't see you. There's a specific kind of anxiety that doesn't look loud. It's subtle, internal, lingering. You walk away from conversations with a strange heaviness. You think, they don't get me. That's not what I meant. That's not who I am. And your mind starts editing the past. You reconstruct the conversation. You imagine better phrasing, better timing, better tone. This isn't vanity. It's not oversensitivity. It's something deeper. In social psychology, there's a concept called the looking glass self. Part of your identity forms based on how you believe others see you. So when someone misunderstands you, it's not just a communication error. It feels like your reflection is distorted. And if the reflection is wrong, your brain treats it as a threat. Not a social inconvenience. A threat. You are not anxious because you're fragile. You are anxious because your brain is wired to protect coherence. Your identity is like a story your nervous system works hard to maintain. Psychologists call this self-verification, the need for others to see us, the way we see ourselves. Even if that self-image isn't perfect, accuracy feels safer than distortion. So when you feel unsettled after being misunderstood, your brain isn't being dramatic. It's defending continuity. Your brain is constantly predicting how social interactions will go. This is called predictive processing. Before you speak, your brain simulates, if I say this, they will understand me this way. When their reaction doesn't match the prediction, a prediction error signal fires. The anterior cingulate cortex, your brain's conflict monitor, activates. It flags mismatch. That mismatch creates uncertainty, and uncertainty activates the amygdala, the brain's threat detector, because humans evolved in tribes. And in tribes, being misperceived could mean exclusion, and exclusion once meant danger. So your nervous system treats misunderstanding as a small social survival error. Now, there is a network in your brain called the default mode network. It activates when you reflect on yourself, when you replay conversations at night, when you imagine how others see you. If you are naturally introspective, this network runs strongly. It tries to repair the narrative again and again. But rumination does not restore clarity. It amplifies the threat signal. So you feel stuck, not because you care too much, but because your brain is trying to close an open loop. There is a gentler way to hold this. First, separate perception from identity. Remind yourself, this is their interpretation, not my definition. Perception is filtered through their history, their mood, their biases. When you reframe it this way, the brain lowers its threat response. The event becomes interpretation, not rejection. Second, allow partial understanding. No one can hold your full internal world. The brain simplifies complexity. That's how cognition works. Expecting complete recognition creates constant prediction errors. Shift the expectation. Partial understanding is normal. Third, clarify yourself internally before you try to clarify yourself externally. Ask, what exactly feels misrepresented? Name it precisely. Specific labeling activates the prefrontal cortex and calms emotional reactivity. Vagueness fuels anxiety. Clarity softens it. Fourth, strengthen private self-verification. Research shows that people with strong self-concept clarity are less destabilized by misinterpretation. Journal your values. Define your traits. Write your own narrative. When you know who you are, external distortions lose intensity. Imagine your identity as a lighthouse. The light rotates outward, projecting who you are. Other people stand on distant shores. They don't see the entire structure. They see flashes, angles, moments. When they describe the lighthouse, they're describing the light, they happen to catch. Not the full architecture. Your anxiety comes from wanting them to see the whole tower. But psychologically, that's impossible. So the work isn't making the beam brighter. It's stabilizing the foundation. You will be misunderstood. Not because you are unclear, not because you are too complex, but because every mind translates reality through its own history. The goal isn't perfect recognition. It's internal coherence, to know yourself well enough that misinterpretation doesn't fracture you. You are not a sentence that needs constant correction. You are a structure, solid, evolving, steady, and not every reflection has to be accurate for you to remain whole.